Epox-it is a stone strengthener. It is not a stone hardener. Stone hardeners may make your stone harder, however, it also tends to make your stone more brittle and affects its expansion properties too. Epox-it, on the other hand, will resist breakage and chipping by increasing your stone's reflexive strength. Just use Epox-it in place of water. Reflexive strength is what resists snapping, as with this pencil. However, stone does not flex like this pencil, but you get the idea. To see how Epox-it strengthens a stone, take a look at these two buttons here. They are identical stone. One was poured with water. This is the one on my left, poured with water. The other with epoxy. As you can see the difference. The one poured with water has a lot of chipping that occurred when we ran a bulk lessening burr, bulk reducing burr. As you could see, look at the chips that occurred at the edges. A lot of chipping occurred there. Now if you look at this one here, it's the same stone, but it resisted the chipping. And if you also notice, the stone on my left doesn't have the same sheen as the stone on my right. This is the one poured with epoxy. The reason why this one has a sheen, it's because the epoxy has sealed the pores, making this water resistant, and also making it stick resistance. In other words, things don't stick to the stone like it would stick with this. Acrylic is a good example. Acrylic, this one will resist acrylic sticking to it. There's a big difference, as you can see. This burr is the bulk reducing burr that was used. It's a carbide burr, and this was what was used to create these grooves over here. As you could see, this burr managed to chip the one poured up with water, but the one poured up with epoxy on my right resisted the chipping. Identical stone was poured into two round flat mold. The one on my left was water was used to pour. Water was used to mix with the stone, and again it's the same identical stone. On this one here, epoxy was used. As you could see, the one that was the one where water was used, again, just taking it out of the mold, we got some chipping that occurred at the edges. You could see right there. So this one is pretty clean. You could see that it's resisting the chipping there. Now what I'd like to do here is do a scratch test. I will scratch with just with a quarter, and I will scratch the surface of this. It's easy to scratch, okay, just using a quarter. As you could see, stone is coming off the surface. This one here was done with epoxy, and I'm going to apply the same pressure, and it's just sliding through. It's as you can see, it's not taking any of the stone from the surface. It's leaving a mark, but it's not the stone coming off. It's more the metal coming off the quarter, and you could see the difference right there versus here. The stone was coming off. So as you could see, there's a difference in the strength of the stone. The stone has definitely become a lot stronger on this one here that was poured with Epox-it versus this one here poured with just plain water. When working with Epox-it, we recommend using Carbide Burs. These burrs here are examples of Carbide Burs. This one here is a bulk reducing burr, right there, and the others, they're trimming burrs. As you can see, the design of the Carbide Burs. The reason why it's important to use these type of burrs is because when you mix Epox-it with gypsum, Epox-it is a polymer, and you need burrs that have a design that expels the stone that it grinds, as opposed to if you don't have this type of design, your burrs will tend to gunk up, and you do not want your burrs to gunk up. But with the proper design and the Carbide Burs, a lot of the Carbide Burs do have that good design. They do a good job of ejecting the stone. So we highly recommend that you use Carbide Burs with these type of designs. Epox-it comes in 3 strengths. The first one here, the blue one, is the Epox-it Light. We recommend this for onlays, inlays, and lower anteriors. The Epox-it color yellow is the medium, and we recommend this for porcelain butt margins, Maryland bridges, and indirect cast posts. The Epox-it Heavy, which is the pink one, we recommend this for implants, partials, night guards, and dentures. Epox-it also comes in 3 different sizes. The ones you see here is a 16 ounce, or approximately half a liter. It also comes in a 64 ounce, which is about 2 liters, and also comes in a gallon, which is almost 4 liters. The little bottles that you see here are the sample sizes. So if you'd like to get a sample sent to you, please visit our website at www.cbite.com.